Welcome back to the Hollywood Actor's Guide to Surviving the Film and TV Industry. My name is Jennifer Lynn Warren, an actress living out here in Hollywood, California, here to help guide your way through this crazy industry. And today I want to talk to you about a quote that I read that Pablo Picasso said. And he said, "I am always doing the things I can't do. That's how I get to do them." I'm always doing the things I can't do. That's how I get to do them. You ever notice that people in your life always tell you how you can't do something, where you're like, oh, I'm going to make my own web series. And they're like, oh, you can't do that because YouTube isn't viable anymore, or whatever BS thing that they want to throw at you to tell you why you can't do what you want to do. And I'm here to tell you to throw all of that out the window, because have you ever noticed that successful people are always breaking the rules? And I think that's because really there are no rules. There are rules people follow in the industry, and unless you have a reason to break them, don't, unless you really understand what it is that I'm trying to say to you here. Because there will be moments it will just feel right to break those rules, and you need to be able to recognize them, to feel them from your gut, and know when the time is right. And I interviewed Yorke Fryer on my podcast, Involuntary Act. And Yorke was a series regular on a show, and he talked to us about his audition, and he broke some rules in that audition. So let's listen to him tell that story.
I got the call back, and I was told the exact same scenes that I was going to do. It's like, oh, just this one comedic scene I'm going to do in the callback. That's fine. I had like 2 weeks. So I was really ready to go when it finally came and was excited. And then the day of the audition, I did something that I never do, which is I called my agent to tell them I was headed to the audition. Agents hate when you do that. They're like, yeah, go ahead. Just get at the audition. I don't know why I did that, but I did. I called and said, hey, I'm on my way. I was very excited about the role. Then, someone who no longer works at my agency, who was working with me on this, was like, all right, you got you got all the new sides. I was like, yep, I got what you sent me on, making up a date, July 1st. He was like, great. Hung up the phone, getting ready to walk out the door. Phone rings again. We got new sides July 7th. I didn't send that to you? You did not send that to me. So I print it out, and the next thing is, like, I have to head to the audition. Like, I'm already behind, so I literally print it out. I'm reading it in the car. You should not do that.
No, yeah.
But I had no choice.
Yeah.
I'm reading it in the car. So in the meantime, in the 2 weeks, since I only had the same scene, I found this character to be really interesting. 67 years old, and I was like, I'm here. I'm in this new place, and I was just trying to decide, like, what were some of the most important things about Abram, about who I am. For some reason, I just got this feeling I had been married, and that I'd had kids, and that those kids had had kids, and I'm a grandfather. And I had this feeling that I had lost my wife.
So if you look at this, he threw his sides at the casting director. He was so impassioned in the moment. He didn't even know if he was saying the right words. He just went off script and did and said what he thought his character would do in that moment, and just committed, and it paid off. And if you also look at what the writer said, where he had seen so many people for this role, and casting wasn't sure if they were going to find somebody, and he just had a feeling about him as an actor. And that's not something you really hear about much in Hollywood either, about, like, you never know what someone is thinking or feeling about you before you go into that room, and they may already be rooting for you. Keira Knightly was out for an audition for a role in The Jacket. And John Mayberry told her before she even started her audition in the room, he said, quote, "There's been a lot of hype about you, but I don't think you can act. You're completely wrong for this part. I absolutely don't want you." End quote. Well, instead of doing the thing that the director said you can't do and just leaving and just giving up, Keira Knightly decided to do the thing that people told her she can't do, which was to insist on auditioning for the role anyway. And her reading won the director over. So he gave her apparently his home number and his cell number and was like, I'll see you in about a month. She booked the starring role in that film even after the director told her that she can't do it. She didn't let the negativity get to her. She didn't let it stop her. In fact, she probably used it as fuel in her audition to overcome the overwhelming odds of a director already saying, nope, it's not you. And she did it anyway. So if you have those negative Nellies in your life that are telling you, oh, you can't move to Los Angeles, or you can't shoot your own web series, and they're giving you all those reasons, just remember Keira's story, remember Pablo Picasso's quote, and do it anyway. Thank you so much again for listening, guys. I appreciate you. You can send all of your questions to hollywoodactorsguide@gmail.com. You can follow the Hollywood Actors Guide account on Instagram or on our Facebook page, and break a leg out there, guys. And remember, you are not alone.